For the positioning section, there are two categories we are judged on: normal driving and lane discipline. Let's first of all take the most common fault for normal driving position. On a road where there are two or more lanes traveling in the same direction, such as this one, we are expected to be positioned in the left-hand lane, unless we are overtaking or about to turn right. In this scenario, the candidate on this real driving test is being asked by the sat-nav to turn right in about 3/4 of a mile. They go to move over to the right-hand lane, still about half a mile before the turn. We keep up with the flow of traffic and also have to queue up at some traffic lights. Again, we keep up with the flow of traffic moving off, and we have some parked cars on the left, which would have forced us into the right-hand lane a little early anyway, but we have been in the overtaking lane for no good reason for a bit too long. Here would have been a better time to take up the right-hand lane regardless of the parked vehicles, with our turn coming up just beyond the next traffic lights. We were saved from a serious fault due to the parked cars being in the left lane a bit further up, but there's no way we could have known for sure they'd be there when we had moved over, so we got rather lucky there. The most common reason we'd find ourselves in the overtaking lane by accident is after leaving a roundabout or other junction such as this one, where multiple lanes turn right. If we do find ourselves in the overtaking lane like this, look to move back to the normal driving lane within a reasonable time, around 10 seconds or so. If it's busy in the lane we want to move into, we could put a signal on to ask to be let in, and then it's more likely we could move over. Since we are in the overtaking lane, we'd want to keep up a reasonable speed while doing so too, unless we're in traffic. If we go that 10 seconds without looking like we are going to make any effort to move back to the normal driving lane, that's when it will be assumed we don't know where we should be positioned. To hog the overtaking lane unnecessarily for too long causes problems for other road users, as they will look to undertake us, which is a risky maneuver in most circumstances, caused though by our poor positioning. Another situation where we may find ourselves in the overtaking lane is after roadworks. Don't forget to move back to the normal driving lane, if safe to do so, once there are no more cones. Now the sat-nav is asking us to turn right in around 400 yards. We can take up the overtaking lane again, ready to turn right around 10 seconds or so before we need to signal for that turn, if it's not busy. If it's busy, we may want to consider taking up the lane we need a little sooner, as the lane change may take some time. The same area, but we move over to the lane to turn right quite a bit earlier. There is no one else around and we accelerate to a reasonable speed, near to the limit.
After 600 yards, turn right, then bear left.
We recognize the need to get into the right-hand lane ready to turn right, maybe even a little early considering the junction is still quite far away, but at least there is no one behind looking to overtake. In this clip from a real test we move over early again, but this time there is traffic behind. Here, we are quick to realize that we need the right-hand lane ready to turn right soon.
After 300 yards, turn right.
A car undertakes, but we are positioned to take the next right turn, and we sped up nicely considering we have only just exited the previous roundabout, so the only fault is from the undertaking car. If we had been going a lot slower, then the fault would have been more on us. So, because we made reasonable progress with our speed, and the undertaking car was surely going over the speed limit, we don't incur a fault here either, since we weren't in the lane ready to turn right for way longer than we needed to be. Positioning for normal driving can also become a problem on single carriageway roads on housing estates, main roads, or in the countryside. If we drive unnecessarily close to the curb, verge, or center line too often, or even just once for an extended period of time, we can expect to receive a driving fault, or worse. Lane discipline is basically straddling lanes, most likely on a roundabout with 2 or more lanes, such as the highlighted car in this clip. Whether it's minor or major depends on a few things. This car doesn't cross over the lines by very much and not for very long. It didn't get extremely close to us, or cause us to stop, slow or swerve, so would just be a minor fault. Finally, as it's to do with positioning, we'll look at the position, normal stop section. When we are asked to pull up at the side of the road, we are, amongst other things, judged on positioning when we park. In this clip we've stopped opposite a fairly major junction, which would make it difficult for those trying to emerge from there. If we park on double yellow or red lines, single yellow or red lines within the restricted times, bus stops, zigzag lines on pedestrian crossings, or outside a school. In a cycle lane or taxi rank or other priority spaces. Opposite vehicles on the other side of the road, causing us to obstruct traffic, or anywhere with this no stopping sign, these would all likely be serious faults. If we park even partially on the curb and even with no one else around, this will also be a serious fault. Parking opposite a bus stop would only be a minor fault. However, if a bus actually stopped there while we were parked, and we ended up blocking the road, then it would become serious. Parking within 10 meters of, or opposite a junction, such as in the clip, it would be up to the examiner's discretion, as it would if we parked on or near a bend, or on the brow of a hill. If we parked over a driveway, it would be a minor fault, unless someone was trying to get into or out of the driveway in the time that we were parked there, then it would become serious.
Pull up on the left please, just in the next gap.
There are times where we may be excused from this.
Get quite close to this next car. Keep going, don't worry about the driveway here. That's far enough, thanks. And drive on when you're ready.
A hill start and an angled start from behind a parked car must be included in the test, and we may be asked to not worry about driveways or yellow lines on this occasion when we pull up at the side of the road, in order for these exercises to be carried out. Of course, in such instances, we won't get a fault for this. And, of course, we shouldn't finish our parking so far away from the curb, not more than a foot away. We may want to adjust if we stop and see that we aren't close enough. Next time, we'll go over judgment when overtaking, meeting and crossing other traffic.